Hey everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It's Wednesday morning. And I tell you, if I hear another news reporter or royal correspondent describe Harry as a silly boy, I'm going to flip my lid. Honest to God, he's not a silly boy. He is a 40-year-old middle-aged man. There are news reporters that are younger than him that are describing him this morning as a silly boy. It drives me right up the wall, I tell you, the infantilization of language, and you see it very prevalently in the British press, and that's how they treat their people, but it also downgrades what's really going on. He is not a silly boy. He is a 40-year-old middle-aged man, and his behavior can be described as, anything but silly. He's angry, he's mean-spirited, vindictive, purposely hurtful, and dangerous. That gives a whole different set of meaning than silly. You gotta be careful. You gotta, especially these days, language is so important. He is not a silly boy. He is a dangerous, dangerous man. I mean, he's a traitor to his country. He's a danger to the wider world, especially the U.S. The things he's involved with, all very globalist initiatives and meet with the globalist agenda to knock us all back into feudalism. I mean, look at the stuff that he's involved in. African parks, we know all the scandal about that, yet he's never addressed it. And that is in the name of conservation. They want to drive the indigenous people off of their land and declare it, a conservation area, which will be open to the wider elite public that can afford a safari on the land. But no, the indigenous people that have to live there to make their life, no, we don't care about the people. We'll drive them out for our own cause. I mean, I've talked about the whole scam of the conservation movement. What it's really about is limiting your access to land and resources. It goes all the way Prince Philip and the World Wildlife Fund, and his work there. A lot of times you find these so-called, and especially now, wow, these charitable organizations, these funded operations tell you, that there's a noble cause behind it, but when you really dig and you find out what the purpose actually is, and I mean, there you go. We see it all the time. So that's, African parks, no other. A big scam. You look at who started the operation and what's been happening, and it's so obvious. It's corrupt. It's so obvious. And look at what else is Harry involved in. Well, Travelist, he feels he can jet set around the world and all of this, but he has a moral obligation to tell you how you should be able to travel. He can go anywhere, anytime, anyhow. But he wants to restrict your movements. He wants to, by using guilt and fear, He wants to inflict on you restrictions of your movement. That's what it's all about, really. That's in a nutshell when you get right down to it. Better up. He's chimp officer, chief impact officer, whatever the hell that means. It's a toxic pyramid scheme that preys on vulnerable people, in the guise of mental health. Pretty much the same way Harry and Meghan operate anyway, you couldn't have two more screwed up people, and they think it's their, again, moral obligation saving the world one shell company at a time. He figures he's got the right and the obligation to lecture you on your mental health. Can you imagine? The Archewell Foundation, well, I said Shell Corporation, one of many, it is used really, I think, allegedly, my opinion, no fact, but once we dig deeper and deeper, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of cleaning up, a little bit of money washing happening, maybe. The way these two operate and the way we've seen them getting paid from their different junkets and things. I mean, you gotta wonder what's going on. And then what else? We've got Invictus. Well, it started out as a noble cause created by the Palace with the help of the Royal Foundation and William to basically give Harry something to do other than fall out on nightclubs and punch photographers after he got out of the army. So they set this up. They set it up to kind of mirror the Warrior Games in the States, which had been a successful program for some years by that time. So they set it up and gave Harry, put his name on it as the royal patron of the whole thing. And it worked well for a while. Indeed, it was always supported by the Palace. It wasn't Harry's brainchild. It wasn't Harry's. He just showed up. Those were the days. Harry's not a smart guy, and he really has no initiative, but he show up and do good. Well, he actually did in those days. He put his name to something, and he did show up, and he tried to make a go of things. He did. You can't deny him that. I mean, does it mean anything? Not really, but he was playing the game anyway, and people were supportive of him for doing that. But post Meghan, I mean, they don't get out of bed in the morning unless they, there's some grift involved, honest to God. It's like Linda Evangelista used to say, I wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day in her modeling heyday. Well, Harry and Meghan, I don't think they make a move unless there's money involved, honest to God. Those two are a couple of the biggest grifters going. They're manipulative. They're mean-spirited. They're a danger, the danger that they pose to the monarchy right now in so many ways. Everybody's talked about it. I've talked about it. Everybody knows they're a danger to the Commonwealth as long as they are anyway associated with the royal family. They are a danger to the royal family, the Commonwealth, and the wider world. The things they're doing in the States, trying to undermine free speech, trying to be a part of, anyway, a vocal movement to kind of manipulate an election in a way. using their titles. I mean, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Archewell, you know, they want you to think about your vote. Well, America fought a war so that titled royals wouldn't be telling them what to do or how to think, and I can't believe that more American, like senators or governors or whatever, aren't onto this now and aren't complaining loudly about some titled Brit from the royal family is over here engaging in things that we fought a war for, let alone the whole visa thing, and now it's sealed, and do we really know what's going on, and did Harry get a pass? I think he did. I think he's had the A1 status all along, and they don't want you to know. Now, could any of that change should Trump prevail in November? It could. Would he go after him? He might. I mean, constitutionally, America fought a war so that there wasn't a royal on British or on American soil influencing anything. So on that grounds alone, he could kick him out. Can you imagine? I'm sure there's precedent going back to the War of Independence. Can you imagine the international hoo-ha? This is gonna, wow, And at that point, Britain would be, the king would feel obligated, to take him back. And here's what I've talked about all along, and I mentioned it in my last video, and I wish more of you understood it or read watched the videos, talked about it, shared it with people. But here's what's going to happen, and I've said within a matter of months. And here we see Harry's coming back in a week for the well child. Now, where is he going to stay in Britain? Is he going to be at the royal palaces? I don't know. Is he going to stay with the Spencers again, perhaps, at Althorp? Is he going to see any members of the royal family while he's in London? Who knows? Probably not. They don't want him around. William knows he's dangerous. He's untrustworthy. He's not bringing Meghan, which is a bonus. But, these so-called royal reporters and stuff, they're crowing about, well, there was just a poll the other day and like 34% of people said that they want Harry back. Well, you know what that means? There's like 65% of the population doesn't want him back. There's double the amount of people that don't want him back. 2/3 of Britain do not want Harry anywhere near the royal family again. They don't respect him. Even if he came back without Meghan, he is not a popular guy. And here we go. Like I've said, I think the king is at the point now where he's trying to tie up some loose ends, taking care of his affairs. I think so, because I think in the next few months there's going to be big changes going on. And of course, the king would want a resolution to clear his conscience, I guess, over his son, But William, he wants a resolution of another kind completely. He wants an erasure of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, anything doing with the royal family. So things are going to come to a head very, very soon, and I think we're getting into a very volatile time. And I think the more that Harry antagonizes the royal family by popping into London, and then articles appear in the news and all of this, really trying to make a public go of look at me, look at me. There's rumor, I've talked about it, Botswana, and I've mentioned perhaps why they might be going there next, rumored to be around November, I think, which would, hopefully he and Meghan don't try to pull some crap by being on their faux little runaround at the same time that the king is over for the CHOGM meetings and the visit to Australia. Hopefully they don't overlap. Would Harry do such a thing? Well, Harry and Meghan, you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. They are mean-spirited, purposely antagonistic. They're vindictive. They're not nice people. They're dangerous people. Harry is not a silly boy. Not by any means. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share my videos, and leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking about all this. Bye for now.